It's almost upon us. After its 3-hour runtime, Avengers Endgame will usher in the end of the first 3 phases, what they are now calling the Infinity Saga. And it will change the MCU forever. Now, with the combination of the Fox merger and all of the new heroes that the MCU can play with, the landscape of the future MCU seems unclear for us regular fans who don't have access to Kevin Feige's fevered dreams. Because of this, we've scoured the internet and spoke to those here at the Comicstorian team for wild speculation and theories about what we're going to see in the next phase. Now, as is the case with many theories, most of these are probably wrong, and what we'll actually get will be much better and well thought out. But there's no fun in that! So let us now take part in the time-honored nerd tradition of crazy speculation. First crazy theory, alternate timeline. Now this theory has been posted on several sites and by several different users on Reddit with various differences. The main idea is that Thanos did not actually destroy half the universe, but instead created an alternate timeline reality for half of the universe that disappeared. Some believe this to be the ultimate universe, in which mutants, Fantastic Four, and other heroes that have recently been acquired through the Fox merger could exist. Now, of course, the plot to Endgame is going to be the Avengers trying to reverse Thanos' snap, so possibly if the alternate timeline reality theory is true, they could once again be merged with the regular MCU, and all of those new heroes will emerge as well, thus introducing mutants and others into the MCU in one massive soft reboot of merging the ultimate universe with the main one. But in my opinion, this theory is not fun. It'd be too easy to just be like, oh, they're all in the alternate universe and we merged them. So number 2 is the Skrull Invasion. Now that the Skrulls have been introduced into the MCU via the Captain Marvel movie, the internet is wild with theories as to what's going to be the next big event, with an idea popping up on everything from CBR to dozens of Reddit posts. The basic idea is that while the group of Skrulls weren't actually evil in the Captain Marvel movie, that doesn't mean that there aren't some out there with a desire to take over Earth. With the Avengers focusing on reversing the snap and half of Earth's forces having disappeared into a cloud of dust, it's the perfect time for the Skrulls to secretly invade Earth. Some theories even include that this is how they're going to introduce the Fantastic Four, who have always had a close tie to the alien invaders. Now, as for this theory, I kind of like it. I've always liked the Secret Invasion storyline, and as a way to introduce some of our characters that have gone missing, like, think about this, maybe if some of those more obscure characters that have gone disappearing in the snap, maybe even Nick Fury, when they came back, the Skrulls took them and replaced them with a Skrull, because, they had already been able to invade Earth. Just a cool idea, and I personally think would be a great way to do the next 3 phases. Number 3 is the Dark Avengers storyline. Now, with half of the Earth's forces gone, someone has to step in and protect us. While possibly led by Norman Osborn, even though he hasn't actually been introduced yet, some theories put forth the idea that the evil billionaire might buy the Avengers Tower and put together a team of former villains to protect the Earth. With the Earth already not trusting some of their heroes after the events of Captain America Civil War, it is a perfect time for a group of heroes to step in. Whether this is something akin to the Thunderbolts, who are a group of villains that started acting like heroes, or the aptly named Dark Avengers, who knows. The only issue with this one is that many of the villains from the MCU are already dead, so there aren't a whole lot of them to make up a team. But weirder things have happened, or a whole new group of villains could just be introduced to the idea alone. Now, my opinion on this theory is that it's just, we don't have enough to work with to make this one really work. You won't be that invested if it's a bunch of brand new villains, and as for the old villains, well, yeah, they're all gone. So I don't think this one could work. Now, number 4 is a theory that my brother thinks makes the most sense. Secret Wars. What if in the next few years of the MCU, they actually introduce the X-Men and the Fantastic Four into their own movies, just like we did way back in Phase 1. The difference is that these movies don't actually take place in the MCU. There's no mention of the Avengers or the Guardians of the Galaxy, hell, even the Snap itself. Okay, so now that we've introduced Marvel's cinematic take on all of these heroes, fans love them, everything's great, then Marvel does, boom, Secret Wars. The Beyonder destroys the universe and brings together all of these alternate realities into a battle world, making all of these heroes fight. At the end of it all, the alternate universes are smashed back together, creating one cohesive reality where the original MCU, mutants, and Fantastic Four all exist together. This would cut out the need for any real retcons or explanation as to why no one noticed the mutants. Now, I know this is his theory and he's my brother, but it kind of makes the most sense. The problem with this is, I don't see them doing that. I think it's too much of a gamble to make all of these heroes fight. They seem very much against doing that properly, as we saw in the Civil War, where we really just had the one big battle. So I don't see them doing this again, but it would be pretty epic. It would also be a way to get Avengers vs. X-Men rolled into the entire thing because they're already fighting. But what do you guys think of these theories? What do you think is the most plausible, or what do you think is going to be a better theory for the future of the MCU? And yes, before you ask, I did lose my voice, but I'm perfectly fine. I'm recovering right now. And if you want to get more of the Comicstorian channel with our theories, our complete stories, and everything else we're doing here, then consider subscribing to the channel and giving this video a like. I'd really appreciate it. I'll see you guys next time right here.